Mario Ottiglio, who's director at the International Federation of Pharmaceutical Manufacturers. Mario, thank you so much for your time. Obviously, I just misspoke, and the danger is that there won't be enough vaccines for the coming year, not for this year, because almost certainly it looks like we're not going to get one so far this year. How worried are you about availability?
Yes, good morning, and thank you for having me. And first of all, let's say it's concerning, but it's normal with vaccine development. I think no disease in history has seen such a rapid development in research. This is a tough situation. Generally, vaccine development takes a lot of time. There is a lot of checking points that one has to do. This is slow normally because companies want to see candidates successfully pass through each sequence in the development. But the playbook doesn't work here. But the good news is that we are having an incredible amount of collaboration, an incredible amount of research. The numbers in terms of the project in phase 3 also look good. We have 9 at the moment. If there is one thing that concerns me about all that, aside the fact that, of course, we've got to wait more, is this kind of rush also to kind of develop the national vaccine. I mean, I don't think this is a situation where we can actually afford to cut the corners because safety is first. And one point I want to make is that there is a credibility issue. We are seeing a lot of vaccine deniers, right? The Novax movement is big. We are seeing a lot of COVID deniers as well. So when we have a solution to prevent, we've got to get with the best possible tool also to make sure that we are credible and we all collaborate towards the greater good.
I mean, in terms of the vaccines that are being distributed, and it looks like the UAE is going to start administering that Chinese vaccine, and then you've got Sputnik 5 as well. At what stage with those two, which are clearly leading the way in terms of actually people receiving the doses, at what stage would you be happy that they would be proven to be safe? Because it's happening while mass trials are taking place.
Yes, I mean that's right. That's always an issue that it's difficult to assess. What's sure is that we need to obey by global standard when it comes to safety regulation. There should not be a rush because we're talking about safety of the people on the other side. You may have seen also yesterday a quite interesting news stream about the Lancet actually asking now for more data, for instance, about the Sputnik vaccine because of some doubts that some of the scientists, some of scientists globally actually were raising. So I guess that's what I said before. We should not cut corners here. There is a rush that we have to look into, of course, a situation, but we need to make sure that the regulations and all the safety are taking place. And I think some of the bigger pharmaceutical companies as well have said we are not going to compromise safety because, of course, there is a reputation, but there is again a credibility issue here.
So the World Health Organization is trying to organize a collective effort to get 2 billion doses, which would be for less wealthy countries. But then what about the issue of distribution and manufacturing? How big is the challenge? I mean, some people have said, I don't know if you agree with it, that the world will need at least 16 billion doses or 14 billion doses, 2 for each person on the planet. Just manufacturing that much and then getting them into a plane to take them to other countries.
It's a massive challenge. I completely agree, especially when it comes to the last mile. We have seen some of this with the H1N1, where we had a lot of logistical challenges, legal agreements, quality controls. There was even a natural disaster, right, that nobody could predict during that situation. So it can be challenging because, of course, we need temperature controlled storage. We don't know this final vaccine what is going to be. We may need vials, materials. We need a very complicated supply chain, which we know has already been disrupted at the time of COVID. We need also an equitable vaccine distribution. That's the other big problem. Well, the financing of that. I was reading some report by Oxfam yesterday where they actually were saying that, at the moment, there will be a number, I think approximately 5.9 billion doses that are good for distribution, and we could inoculate 3 billion people. But then the question is, we've got to do that equally. We need to follow an allocation plan, right? WHO has developed one in order not to favor parts of the world and kind of leave other parts of the world without the vaccine, because in the words of Tedros, the WHO director, I mean, this is a problem that is global and there is no shortcut. We've got to solve this together, otherwise it won't work.
Mario, always appreciate you coming on to the program. Thank you so much indeed. Mario Ottiglio in Geneva.